Okay, so let's talk about AI. What's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it like a super helpful assistant, or are we talking full-on sci-fi robot apocalypse? Well, today we're going to cut through all that hype and get down to what this stuff really is.
All right, so just so you know, what we're doing here is basically covering Chapter 1 of a bigger course. It's called An Introduction to Artificial Intelligence for Students Ages 14 to 19 by Virtualization Options LLC. Think of this as the ground floor, We're setting the stage for everything else. Okay, let's jump right in.
First things first. Before we go any further, we have to tackle the biggest, most basic question there is. I mean, you hear the term AI thrown around constantly, right? It's on the news, it's powering your favorite apps, it's all over the movies. But what are we really talking about here?
So here's the simplest way to think about it. AI is all about making machines that can imitate how humans think and act. And that word imitate is super important. We're not talking about creating a machine that feels sad or has its own dreams. Nope. It's about designing a computer system to do a job that, until now, you'd need a person for.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's talk about all the crazy ideas you've probably gotten about AI from Hollywood. It's time to bust some myths and figure out what's fact and what's just fiction.
Okay, myth number one, AI is basically magic. It just works. But the reality? It's all just really, really clever math and computer science. There's no magic wand. And that brings us to the big one, the robot takeover. Seriously, the truth is AI is a tool. That's it. A really powerful tool, for sure, but it's one that we build and we control.
And this is probably one of the most important things to get right now. There are actually two types of AI people talk about. What we have today, and I mean all of it, is something called narrow AI. Think of it like a world champion chess player. It can destroy anyone at chess, but ask it to make you a sandwich, it has no clue. Then there's the other kind, general AI. This is the sci-fi stuff, a machine that's as smart and adaptable as a human across the board. The key thing to remember, it doesn't exist. Not yet anyway.
So if all the AI out there is narrow, what's it actually good for? Well, let's look at what it can really do. And trust me, you're using this stuff way more than you probably realize. Seriously, think about it. Ever yell, "Hey Siri," or "Okay Google" at your phone? That's AI doing speech recognition. Or what about when your Photos app just knows who's in your pictures and groups them together? That's image recognition. And every single time a streaming service suggests a movie you might like, yep, that's an AI making a decision based on what you've watched before. It's everywhere.
It's easy to think AI just popped up in the last few years, right? But the idea, the dream of making smart machines, man, that goes way, way back. It has this surprisingly long history.
It really kicked off back in the 1950s when guys like Alan Turing started asking these huge questions like, can a machine actually think? A few years later, in '56, the term artificial intelligence was officially born. Then, fast forward to 1997. This was a huge deal. IBM's computer, Deep Blue, beat the world chess champion Garry Kasparov. It was a massive milestone. And now, here we are in an era where anyone can hop on something like ChatGPT and use some of the most sophisticated AI ever created.
So, if there's one thing you walk away with today, let it be this. AI is not some conscious thing with its own secret plans. It's a tool, a powerful one, yeah, but still just a tool that humans built. It doesn't want anything. It's built to do what we tell it to do, and that's the whole point.
And that really leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on, doesn't it? If AI is just a tool, then who's responsible for how it gets built and used? It kind of puts the ball back in our court, because if we're the ones building it, that means we're also the ones responsible for what it becomes.